Hey, I'm Scott, and I am an American in Bangkok. Hey, thoroughly enjoy your videos. I am a 25-year-old British man who traveled around Thailand with the girlfriend for 7 months. I instantly took to the place, and the way of life seemed like the only life for me. Many people say that, but I think it's just your perception because it's so unusual. And I think that you need to I know it's difficult and I know it sounds a bit harsh, but you need to come back to reality and understand it's not the only life for you. There are many lives for you. It's like saying she's the only girl for me. The truth of the matter is, in most cases, a relationship that you have, it may be based on logistics, proximity. If you are around a woman all the time, you're in an area where she is. You're probably more apt to hook up with her than some chick who's 10,000 miles away and you never see her. That's not to say that this is the case, but I think that when you come to Thailand for the first time, second time, it's a bit overwhelming. And you kind of just go, wow, man, this is the best place. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. And the truth is, you only have really just touched the surface. You haven't even scratched the surface. Okay? It says, I feel more at home in Thailand than I do at home. I observed how foreign expats manage to support themselves in Thailand, but upon researching, it seems almost impossible to do so due to visa and property legislation. My relationship of 7 years recently broke off. I have 30,000 pounds to get me started and nothing keeping me in England. A very vague question, I know, but how can I make it work? Well, you and hundreds of thousands of other guys want to know. Simple as that. And the bottom line is that you have money. If you, let me just continue this because you have some money, so that's a good thing. Although sometimes, it's the hungry guys who end up making it work because they're so hungry because they know if they don't make it a go of it, that they're going to starve, which is what happened to me. Let's see here. My relationship of 7 years recently broke off. I have 30,000 pounds, blah, 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 blah. I also understand that backpacking is a different kettle of fish to permanently residing in Thailand, but 7 months was long enough to know that I had found something I was not necessarily looking for, but I am now obsessed with the thought of a new life in Thailand. Yeah, you're obsessed, and it's not necessarily a good obsession. It's a bad obsession. You don't need to be obsessed. What you need to do is you need to think clearly and stop thinking, oh my, how am I going to get there? What am I going to do? Although, I mean, if you have money, you have money set aside. So, and he goes on to say, I am an engineer by trade. Now, you have a highly marketable skill. And if I were you, what I would do is, I wouldn't be in a hurry to run over here. See here. If you could help in any way possible by telling me how immigrating can be viable, it would be hugely appreciated. I think immigrating at this point is not something in your cards. I think, first of all, you need to see if you can even make a go of it. I would say that what I would do, if I was an engineer, is I would stay in England and keep working and do some research with international headhunters and companies that may need engineers because, Fortune 500 companies or whatever. There are always companies like oil companies and gas companies and whatever other, construction firms that need engineers. So your best bet is probably to get hired outside of Thailand and then come over here. If that were the case, you'd probably get a nice plush expat package. You'd be doing very, very well. You wouldn't have to worry about a thing, and there wouldn't be any of this, oh, what am I going to do? I might have to teach English or something like that. You wouldn't have to worry about that. So that's what I would do if I were you. I would try to find a job outside of the country because, engineers, there are Thai engineers here, and Thai engineers also work abroad. In fact, I know one guy in particular fairly well, I've talked to him many, many times, and he was an engineer, and he actually was a Thai. He's a Thai, and he actually worked in the United States. He's in my book. I wrote about how he's I think he's in his 70s, and he said how tired he was. And I said, well, why don't you have another cup of coffee? And he said, no, I'm tired inside. That's the same guy, and he's a very intelligent guy, and he was able to make a go of it over in the United States. And I would think as an engineer that it may not be easy to find a job, and it may take you a couple of years to find a job. But you can find a job if you persevere. You're going to have to just look and look and look. Otherwise, you're going to come over here and you're going to be teaching English. I mean, here's the thing, and I say this over and over and over and over again, and I don't mean it in a negative way. Okay? These lights, they're always bugging me, but these are better now because I need one more LED light, and I'll be squared away. I got one in the back, one to the side here, in the front rather, one to the side. I need another one behind me, and then we should be peachy. But yeah, I mean, you have a trade that you may be able to, a professional skill that you should be able to use here, but it may take some time to get a job, and you may be passed over. It might take you years, and you're only 25 years old. If I were you, I would stay at home, sock that money away. You got to be making good money if you're an engineer. I would think so, or at least you will be in the near future. Sock that money away and really make sure you got a bundle stashed. And that way, you have more options, okay? And the entire time, look for work. Always be looking for work here in Bangkok or wherever else you might want to live. And that's the way to do it. I got to give a big shout out to Mr. Hein. Hein, thank you very much. Really appreciate you becoming one of my Patreon patrons. If you would like to become one of my Patreon patrons, just click on the link above and, follow the link, follow the instructions, and, the rest is history. Okay? So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke me, Latin, choke me.